Stop. Stay present. This moment carries weight beyond coincidence. This date marks the 11th of January 2025, aligned through intention, not chance. I speak about divine timing, discipline, and the unseen order guiding every sincere seeker. Many feel pulled toward a message without reason. That pull signals readiness. Ancient Shaolin teachings reveal that timing arrives before understanding. The universe moves pieces quietly, arranging encounters long before awareness catches up. This video reveals why your presence here signals alignment, not randomness, and why resistance often fades once timing locks into place. Across history, spiritual traditions agree on one truth. Awareness opens only when the inner clock strikes the right hour. Effort alone never forces revelation. Timing grants permission. On this specific day, energy changes toward clarity, direction, and inner authority. Those who arrive at such moments sense calm mixed with urgency, as though life whispers, "Pay attention now." Within these minutes, lessons surface about patience, trust, and silent preparation. Viewers gain insight into unseen cycles that govern opportunity, struggle, and breakthrough. Missing this understanding leads many to push too early or wait too long. Mastery begins through recognition of timing. Remain until the final words, because the closing insight connects this day to a personal path forward, grounded in discipline rather than fantasy. Warm greetings to every seeker arriving here. Welcome to Shaolin Divine Flow, a channel dedicated to clarity, strength, and spiritual order. Join this path by subscribing and walk forward with awareness and purpose. Listen closely. The word chosen often creates misunderstanding. Many believe it speaks of perfection, success, or moral superiority. That belief blocks truth. Being chosen never meant flawless. It always meant aware. Chosen souls are not the loudest in the room. They are the ones who notice when something feels off, the ones who sense meaning in silence. Awareness separates them long before achievement ever appears, long before recognition arrives. Across ancient teachings, those called forward were ordinary people with inner sensitivity. They questioned patterns. They paused where others rushed. Awareness became their signal, not strength, not status. Awareness, being chosen, begins the moment a person stops moving on autopilot, the moment life feels deeper than routine. Thoughts turn inward, questions arise without answers. This shift unsettles comfort, yet opens perception. Many resist this stage because awareness removes excuses. Chosen individuals often struggle more than others. Awareness reveals truth clearly, and truth challenges illusions. That awareness feels heavy at times. It exposes fear, doubt, and inner conflict. This is not punishment. This is preparation. Perfection never attracts divine attention. Awareness does. Awareness signals readiness to see beyond surface appearances, to feel direction before proof appears, to trust intuition before logic agrees. Many believe chosen people glide through life untouched by hardship. Reality shows the opposite. Awareness sharpens experience. Pain becomes more noticeable. Joy becomes deeper. Confusion becomes temporary. Growth becomes inevitable. Awareness also demands responsibility. Once seen, it cannot be unseen. Awareness asks for honesty with oneself. It demands discipline. It asks for patience while others demand speed. Being chosen simply means this: the eyes are open, the heart listens, the mind senses alignment before words form. This awareness marks the beginning of a path few notice, yet many feel drawn toward without understanding why. Silence creates distance from the crowd. Not physical distance, but inner separation. Most people move through life surrounded by noise, opinions, expectations, fear disguised as certainty. In that noise, the quiet voice of God remains unheard. God rarely shouts. Guidance arrives softly. A feeling, a pause, a sudden stillness that asks for attention. Only a few slow down enough to notice. Those few begin to walk a different rhythm, not faster, deeper. Separation often feels lonely at first. Old conversations stop resonating. Certain paths lose attraction. Comfort fades. This distance is not rejection, it is refinement. Crowds move on impulse. Awareness moves on discernment. Those who listen quietly start noticing patterns others miss. Delays start making sense. Obstacles reveal hidden lessons. The need for constant approval dissolves. Direction forms without explanation. This is how alignment works. Many fear this separation. They mistake silence for loss. Yet silence trains perception. God shapes strength away from distraction. Growth happens where attention remains undivided. Responsibility increases with awareness. Listening requires courage. Acting requires trust. Once guidance becomes clear, excuses lose power. Old habits resist change. Fear attempts to regain control. This tension signals progress, not failure. Fear speaks loudly. God does not. Fear rushes. God waits. Those who learn the difference stop reacting and start responding. They learn patience without passivity, movement without force. At this stage, surrender replaces struggle. Not surrender of will, but surrender of resistance. The heart opens. Doubt loosens. Direction steadies. Faith becomes practical, not emotional. An invitation always follows awareness. Acceptance remains a choice. Listening alone is not enough. Alignment asks for agreement. Agreement asks for action rooted in trust. This moment exists to recognize that call, the quiet pull forward, the sense of readiness beneath uncertainty. Those who feel it understand without explanation. The path does not require the crowd. It requires attention, humility, and the courage to move when the voice speaks softly. Notice how this message reached you today, not earlier, not later. Timing answers a need that words could not explain. Something within asked quietly for reassurance. Not loudly, not desperately, just enough to be heard. Life often places weight on the heart before clarity arrives. Questions repeat. Effort continues without visible results. Direction feels blurred. In such moments, confirmation becomes necessary. Not from people, from truth itself. This message arrived because a pause was needed. A reminder that progress does not always look like movement. Growth often hides beneath stillness. Today brings reassurance that nothing has been wasted. Every delay carried purpose. Every confusion shaped awareness. Direction appears when resistance softens, when the need to control fades, when trust begins to replace urgency. Today marks that transition, a subtle shift away from forcing outcomes and toward aligning with timing. Many wait for signs wrapped in drama, yet guidance prefers simplicity, a sentence that resonates, a feeling of recognition, a sense of calm mixed with clarity. This message serves as that signal. Confirmation arrives when doubt grows tired of repeating itself, when the heart needs permission to keep going. Today offers that permission, not through promises but through understanding. Understanding that the path remains valid even when unseen. Those who receive confirmation today stand at a crossroads between old patterns and new discipline, between fear-driven choices and trust-based movement. Awareness sharpens at such moments. Choices begin to matter more. Reassurance does not remove challenge. It strengthens resolve. Direction does not eliminate uncertainty. It narrows focus. Confirmation does not guarantee ease. It restores confidence. This message found you because attention aligned with readiness. Something within recognized truth before logic intervened. That recognition matters. Today becomes a marker, a moment of acknowledgement, a quiet agreement between inner knowing and external reminder. The journey continues, yet the weight lifts slightly. Steps feel steadier, breath deepens. Guidance rarely explains everything at once. It reveals just enough for the next step. Today delivers that clarity. Carry this truth gently. Much of your strength was forged in silence. Battles unfolded where no one clapped, no one noticed, no one asked how you endured. Yet none of it went unseen. God witnesses struggle differently than people. Tears held back. Smiles warned for survival. Prayers whispered without confidence. Moments when giving up felt logical, yet something deeper refused to release its grip. That resistance mattered. Some nights felt longer than others. Thoughts circled endlessly. Hope thinned. Faith felt heavy. Still, movement continued. Maybe slowly, maybe imperfectly, but forward. That persistence carries weight in the unseen realm. Others saw surface calm. God saw inner conflict. Others heard laughter. God heard doubt. Others assumed strength. God recognized exhaustion. Nothing escaped awareness. Nothing was dismissed as weakness. Silent battles shape character more deeply than public victories. They teach patience without applause, trust without reassurance, endurance without reward. These lessons remain invisible to the crowd, yet invaluable to growth. Many questioned why relief did not arrive sooner, why effort met resistance, why answers stayed distant. Those questions were valid. They refined understanding, they strengthened discernment, they deepened reliance beyond circumstance. God often allows quiet struggles to build inner authority, strength that does not depend on approval, faith that survives confusion, wisdom earned through experience rather than instruction. Pain never meant punishment, it meant preparation. Every unseen challenge trained perception, taught humility, cultivated compassion, expanded awareness beyond comfort. Even moments of doubt served purpose. Doubt sharpened sincerity. It separated habit from belief. It forced honesty. Through doubt, faith matured. Nothing endured was meaningless. Every struggle carried information. Every hardship carried instruction. Even mistakes carried lessons essential for what comes next. Recognition arrives now, not to reopen wounds, but to acknowledge endurance, to remind that survival itself speaks of alignment. God already counted every step taken while no one watched. Confusion often arrived without warning. Plans unraveled, answers stayed distant, direction blurred, yet movement continued. Not because clarity existed, but because stopping felt impossible. This was faith in its rawest form. Faith during confusion carries no comfort. It operates without evidence. It walks forward while the mind questions every step. Many mistake this stage for failure. In truth, it signals transition. There were times when logic suggested retreat, when effort seemed wasted, when silence felt like rejection. Still, something deeper held steady, a quiet knowing that leaving the path would cost more than staying. This persistence was not confidence, it was commitment. Commitment to continue even when understanding lagged behind experience. Faith does not require certainty, it requires willingness. Confusion strips belief down to its foundation. It removes borrowed ideas. It exposes intention. Only genuine faith survives that process. Everything else fades. Moving forward without answers strengthened inner trust. Each step taken in uncertainty expanded resilience. Fear lost influence gradually. Control loosened, acceptance formed. Many abandoned the journey here, not from weakness, but from exhaustion. Those who continue discover that confusion does not block progress. It refines it. It teaches patience. It deepens humility. God does not demand perfect understanding. God honors perseverance, especially perseverance born from honesty. Confusion forced sincerity. It removed performance. It invited authenticity. Faith matured quietly during those moments. It shifted from emotional reliance to disciplined trust. Not trust that everything would feel good, but trust that meaning existed beyond feeling. Every step taken without clarity carried weight. Each decision made in uncertainty strengthened alignment. This stage developed endurance that no visible success could provide. Eventually, confusion loses its grip. Not suddenly. Gradually, direction sharpens. Perspective widens. Understanding arrives after movement, not before. Continuing forward through uncertainty was not accidental, it was necessary. This phase prepared the heart to receive clarity without attachment and guidance without fear. Blessings follow readiness, not desire. Many ask early, yet few are prepared to receive without damage. Timing protects the soul as much as it delivers reward. A gift given too soon creates dependence, arrogance, or fear of loss. Growth would fracture under weight. It cannot yet carry. Delay shapes capacity. It strengthens discipline. It deepens humility. The soul matures quietly through restraint, through patience, through learning to stand steady without reward. These phases feel empty, yet they build structure. Without structure, blessings collapse into burden. Waiting teaches discernment. It trains the heart to recognize value beyond possession. It removes desperation. When desperation fades, clarity enters. Only then can abundance arrive without controlling behavior. Many blessings carry responsibility, influence, opportunity, change. Without inner balance, such gifts overwhelm rather than uplift. Readiness ensures stability before expansion. Preparation often hides within struggle. Loss teaches appreciation. Absence sharpens focus. Difficulty reveals priorities. These lessons cannot be rushed. They must be lived. God understands consequence beyond desire. Protection appears as delay. Guidance appears as resistance. What seems withheld often preserves alignment. During preparation, attachment loosens. Identity shifts from outcome to character. Self-worth separates from success. This transformation ensures that blessings enhance life rather than define it. Patience refines intention. It filters motivation. It distinguishes longing from purpose. Only purpose sustains blessing. When readiness arrives, resistance disappears naturally. Doors open without force. Effort feels lighter. Timing aligns. This ease signals preparedness. Blessings do not arrive to impress others. They arrive to support purpose. Readiness ensures purpose leads, not ego. Every delay shaped strength. Every pause taught restraint. Every unanswered moment built awareness. These elements form the foundation upon which blessings can stand without collapsing. Readiness completes preparation. Blessings follow naturally once the soul stands steady enough to hold them without losing direction. History repeats a quiet pattern. God rarely selects those already crowned by the world. Attention falls instead on the overlooked, the underestimated, the ones standing at the edge rather than the center. Strength recognized by crowds often carries pride. God seeks sincerity. Those unnoticed learn humility early. They learn to listen before speaking, to observe before acting. This inner posture creates space for guidance. The overlooked develop resilience without applause. They grow strong without recognition. Their faith forms without validation. These qualities cannot be taught through comfort or praise. They are earned through obscurity. Spiritual truth reveals that obscurity protects development. It shields intention from ego. It allows growth without pressure to perform. Many prepared in silence later stand with clarity. Those chosen unexpectedly often doubt themselves. This doubt keeps the heart soft. It prevents arrogance. It encourages dependence on guidance rather than self-image. God values availability over ability, willingness over reputation, openness over achievement. Skills can be learned. Character must be shaped. Many who appear ready in the eyes of the world lack inner stability. Those overlooked learn stability through endurance. Their foundation forms deep because no shortcuts exist. The unexpected understand struggle intimately. Compassion develops naturally. Judgment fades. Awareness sharpens. These traits serve purpose more than raw talent. God does not choose based on visibility. God chooses based on alignment. Alignment remains hidden from crowds. It reveals itself through consistency, humility, and discipline. Those selected from obscurity move differently. They seek meaning rather than attention. They value integrity over image. They act from conviction, not approval. Being overlooked was not rejection. It was protection. Time spent unseen allowed growth without distortion. Strength formed without comparison. Faith matured without pressure. The unexpected carry fewer illusions. They recognize dependence on guidance. This recognition keeps them grounded when opportunities arrive. God's pattern remains unchanged. The world looks upward. God looks inward. Those overlooked learn to look inward first. Something subtle stirs on the 11th of January 2025. Not loud, not visible to all, but undeniable to those who are present. Energy shifts. Paths realign. A quiet reset begins, unseen yet felt deeply. This day does not rewrite the past. It reframes it. Lessons, struggles, and patience collected over time converge into understanding. What once felt random now carries purpose. What once felt heavy now feels like preparation lifting. The shift is not dramatic. It does not arrive with spectacle. It whispers through intuition, nudges through clarity, and opens perception to possibilities previously overlooked. Awareness becomes sharper, choices feel lighter, steps forward carry more confidence, even without certainty. Spiritual turning points often go unnoticed at first. The heart senses them before the mind labels them. A sudden calm in chaos, a quiet assurance where doubt lingered, a sense that effort finally aligns with outcome. This is how God works, through subtlety, through timing, through readiness. This reset touches everything. Decisions made earlier begin to yield understanding. Relationships reveal new depth. Opportunities become visible where before there was only obscurity. The soul notices alignment before circumstance confirms it. Beginnings appear quiet because transformation often grows in silence. The loudest announcements rarely indicate true change. True change begins inside, invisible yet undeniable. By the end of this day, a new rhythm emerges, one built on trust, preparation, and awareness rather than urgency or force. Those who feel this shift understand its significance intuitively. They notice synchronicities, small confirmations, and sudden clarity in choices. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. The 11th of January 2025 marks a point where readiness meets opportunity, where patience finally sees reward, where faith practiced in confusion finds direction. A quiet opening, signaling that the next phase of purpose has begun. The soul now moves differently. Steps feel lighter, focus sharpens, energy aligns with intention. The unseen currents of life begin carrying forward what effort, trust, and endurance have prepared for months, even years. Being chosen is not a reward, it is a responsibility. Selection by divine timing demands more than recognition. It demands integrity, humility, and courage. Trust becomes the first requirement. Trust in guidance, in timing, in unseen currents that shape opportunity. The chosen cannot act solely on impulse or desire. Decisions carry weight beyond immediate understanding. Faith must anchor action, even when doubt lingers. Humility is equally essential. Recognition or progress can tempt pride. Chosen individuals must remain grounded. True strength grows quietly without boasting. It listens more than it speaks, observes more than it judges. Humility allows guidance to flow freely, unblocked by ego or expectation. Movement is inevitable. Being chosen does not permit stagnation. The path forward requires deliberate steps. Small or large, visible or invisible, every step matters. Hesitation wastes alignment, yet reckless motion breaks trust. Balance between patience and action defines progress. Challenges remain unavoidable. Being chosen does not shield from hardship. It prepares the heart to face difficulty with clarity rather than panic. Every obstacle becomes a lesson in discernment. Every setback becomes an opportunity to strengthen resolve. Responsibility extends beyond self. Actions ripple outward, affecting others in ways unseen. Chosen people influence quietly, through example, through consistency, through integrity. Their alignment becomes a beacon, though subtle, guiding those ready to follow. Awareness sharpens under this responsibility. Distractions fade, priorities clarify. The voice of doubt softens when replaced by deliberate, intentional movement. Faith becomes practical. Discipline becomes natural. Being chosen means holding steadiness while the world moves chaotically. It means carrying guidance in silence. It means trusting that every challenge, every delay, and every insight contributes to purpose. Those who embrace responsibility understand that selection is living practice. It requires constant alignment of heart, mind, and action. It requires courage tempered by patience and strength tempered by humility. This is the path of the chosen. Fear lingers quietly, often unnoticed. Yet it blocks more than circumstance ever could. Doubt whispers in moments when clarity calls. Both work to stall progress, to obscure alignment, to cloud perception. God releases guidance, opportunity, and clarity constantly. Yet fear resists. Doubt questions. They convince the heart to wait, to second guess, to shrink from movement. This resistance is natural, but it is not necessary. Letting go begins with awareness, recognizing fear without judgment, seeing doubt without surrender. Awareness alone diminishes their power. Once recognized, they no longer dictate choices. They become signals, not barriers. Fear often disguises itself as caution, reason, or practicality. Doubt appears as humility, introspection, or honesty. Yet both thrive where trust falters. Removing them requires more than wishing. They require conscious alignment with guidance and purpose. Release comes through surrender. Not surrender of effort, but surrender of resistance. Let actions flow from conviction, not hesitation. Let decisions rise from clarity, not from what-ifs. When fear loosens, energy that was trapped flows into opportunity. Doubt often stems from overthinking the unknown. God's timing exceeds understanding. Patience aligns the unseen with readiness. Trust replaces questioning when one accepts that delay does not equal denial and silence does not equal absence. Fear shrinks the heart. Doubt freezes action. Letting them go expands perception. Steps feel lighter, confidence grows, intuition sharpens, movement becomes natural, not forced. This release opens space for blessings, for insight, for alignment to enter fully. It clears the path prepared over months or years of unseen preparation. Every step forward becomes amplified. Every choice resonates with purpose. Letting go is not a single moment, it is continual practice. A heart tuned to guidance notices hesitation, acknowledges it, and moves anyway. Only then does what God is releasing flow unimpeded, carrying fulfillment, clarity, and direction to the one ready to receive. Now is the moment to open fully, to feel the quiet call that has been reaching you through every pause, every struggle, every silent step. This is more than a message. It is an invitation from God to align with purpose, to trust in timing, and to step forward with courage and awareness. Take a deep breath and say quietly to yourself, I am ready. I accept this calling. Let that agreement settle in your heart. Let it anchor you in faith, in humility, and in the quiet confidence that you were chosen for a reason. If this message touched you, give this video a like and subscribe to Shaolin Divine Flow, so that together we can continue walking the path of awareness, discipline, and divine alignment. Share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and be part of the ripple that transforms lives quietly but powerfully. Remember, being chosen is not about perfection, it is about awareness. It is about listening when the world moves too fast, trusting when clarity seems distant, and moving forward with courage even in the unknown. Step into this moment fully. Trust the timing. Embrace the path and carry the quiet certainty that God already sees your readiness, your strength, and your purpose. You are chosen, you are ready, and this is only the beginning.